I now hand the conference over to Mr. Karl Kola from CDR India. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Aman. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Balrampur Chini Mills Q4 and FY20 results conference call. Today we have with us Mr. Vivek Saraogi, Managing Director of Balrampur Chini Mills, and Mr. Pramod Patwari, Chief Financial Officer of the company. We would now like to begin the call with brief opening remarks from the management, following which we will have the forum open for discussions. Before we begin, I would like to point out that some statements made in today's call may be forward-looking in nature, and a disclaimer to this effect has been included in the results presentation shared earlier. I would now like to invite Mr. Saraogi to make his opening remarks. Over to you, Vivek.
Thank you, Karl, and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Balrampur Chini's Q4 and FY20 earnings conference call. I hope you, your family, and your colleagues are all well and staying safe. I will give you a brief backdrop on the macro and the financials. As per latest estimate, India is expected to produce 27 million tons for the current season. Overall production is still expected to be lower by 6 million from the 33 million in the previous season. In UP, mills have produced 12.6 million as on 31st May, which is 0.8 million more than last year. In Maharashtra, the season concluded in April and the production was 6.1 million as compared to 10.7 million in the previous season. This was on account of the drought. Even in Karnataka, crushing operations concluded by 30th April and production was 3.4 million. Coming to the demand scenario, consumption for sugar is expected to be 25 million this year, despite the impact of COVID. That is our feeling. On the other hand, total exports contracted were 5.1 million and roughly 4.7 million has already been dispatched or are at the port and loading. Overall, we expect about 5.2 million. Could go higher also, no?
5.2.
Okay. Overall, for this year up to October, we expect a dispatch of 5.2 million in the export front. Overall, therefore, we expect the closing stock to be in 11.5 million. Globally, the sugar production is lower by 7 million at 175.1 million during the current year. It is projected to increase by 10 million to 185 for 2021. Pramod, that's the next year.
Right.
And this is all expected to come in from Brazil mostly and some from India. And that is owing to larger diversion to sugar from the ethanol front. Coming to our business overviews, we have delivered excellent financial and operational performance during the period under review, despite the challenging environment prevailing in the sector. Sugar segment delivered a healthy performance on account of higher volumes and steady realizations. And the distillery segment delivered strong results on the back of higher volumes and better realization. I am happy to share that we have also commenced our 160 KLPD distillery at Guleria in January. And this unit is expected to further drive the segment's performance during the coming years. The cogen segment continued to report subdued numbers due to the downward revision of power tariffs. And as you are aware, we are in court and contesting that. In the closing, I'd like to state that amidst the pandemic situation and the external pressures on the industry, BCML has delivered an excellent performance during the year. Going forward, our healthy balance sheet, prudent capital allocation and strong cash flows would enable us to create value for all the stakeholders. And I'm happy to share that in line with our long-term philosophy of distributing profits on the back of a strong performance, Board of Directors has recommended a buyback of 1 crore shares at 180 per share. I'd now like to hand over the floor to Pramod.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Balrampur Chini Mills earnings conference call. I will be providing you all a brief on the company's operating and financial performance for the period under review. During quarter 4 financial year 20, the company has delivered a robust performance despite the challenging time due to COVID-19. In Q4, revenue from operations stood at 1,740 crore, higher by 31% YOY on account of strong performance reported in the sugar and distillery segment. Coming to the sectoral performance during the quarter, revenues in the sugar division for the quarter stood at 1,772 crore, a growth of 40% YOY, and the segment PBIT grew by 68% to 132 crore. This was on the back of higher volumes and steady realizations. The company was also able to reduce its sugar inventory by diverting sugarcane towards the B-heavy route to maximize ethanol production as well as export of sugar to merchant exporter. Sugar sales during quarter 4 were higher at 45.35 lakh quintals as compared to 37.69 lakh quintals in Q4 FY19. Realizations for Q4 were at 32.23 per kg in comparison to 31.48 per kg in Q4 last year. As on 31st March, sugar inventory was around 68 lakh quintals and has been valued at an average price of 29.49 per kg. In the distillery segment, revenues grew by 53% to 173 crore on account of higher volumes and better blended realizations. During Q4, ethanol produced out of B-heavy molasses constituted 73% of the total production. Similarly, the ethanol sold out of B-heavy molasses route constituted 72% of the total alcohol sales. Total alcohol sales during the quarter was 3.4 crore, which includes ENA, C-heavy molasses route ethanol as well as B-heavy molasses route ethanol, as compared to 2.52 crore BL in quarter 4 FY19. Blended realizations during the quarter was 49.97 per BL as compared to 43.16 per BL in Q4 FY19. Stock of molasses as on 31st March 20 stood at 27.51 lakh quintals versus 21.76 lakh quintals during the same period last year. In the cogeneration segment, revenue stood at 206 crore and PBIT of 34 crores during the quarter. Company sold 21 crore unit as compared to 26 crore unit in Q4 FY19. Average realizations for the quarter was 3 rupees 1 paisa as compared to 4.91 per unit in Q4 FY19. As on 31st of March 2020, stock of bagasse stood at 2.45 lakh metric ton as compared to 3.94 lakh metric ton in the previous year. Long-term loan as on 31st of March 2020 stood at 446 crore, which includes SDF loan of 5 crores at 4% and balance term loans availed from state government and central government under the scheme which carries interest subvention or are at subsidized rates. Long-term and short-term rating of the company stood at AA and A1+ respectively and assigned by the ICRA as well as CRISIL. This brings us to an end of our opening remarks. We would now like to address any question or queries you may have in your mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Sanjay Banwal from ICICI Direct. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congratulations on a good set of numbers. A few questions are on the sugar sales quota perspective. Your entire domestic quota for the year has been 9.3 lakh tons, if I'm not wrong. If you can correct me on that number. So, is it expected to remain same in the next year, considering the fact that Maharashtra and Karnataka will be coming back to a better production?
Okay, a valid question. So we are expecting the sales in the current year based on the quota to be much higher than 9.3. We'll just give you the exact data what was there last year. And it's impossible to give the projection, but one is expecting a definitive jump there.
Okay. So in the similar way, if it is possible for exports also, because 2.5 lakh was the export, if I'm not wrong, and if the continuation of export subsidy happens, will that number remain same? Secondly, will you participate in the third reallocation, which is announced just 2 days back?
Sorry, come again. I missed your last part.
Will you be participating into the third reallocation of export quota, which is announced, I think, 2 days back?
All valid questions. So we are not participating because we have already sold a lot in the export front, as well as diverted a lot into B-heavy, and plus we've got healthy domestic releases. So we are not looking to participate in the third tranche of exports. 9.3.
Okay.
And export subsidy continuance was your other question, is it?
Yeah. So if export subsidy continues for the next threshing season also, what could be the quantum of, say, for an FY21 in terms of export quantity?
So, see, again, these are forward-looking questions, but if the past is any evidence, first, the subsidy would be continued. Second, quantity of exports would be higher than 6, it should not be lower. And
right.
Third, quantum of subsidy is unknown at this point of time, but the range is clearly defined. You know, if again you look into the past, you'll get all your evidence. So this brings us to the next question, which I think a lot of participants would have, Pramod, so I'll address it up front. So let's understand what is the policy which is continuing and how does one look for continuance and what are the parameters of continuance. So I go to the central government. One is buffer stock. The logic is when there is an excess production stroke excess stock, buffer stock continues. Based on that and based on the next year's projection of production, it is very easy to assume it should continue. Second comes export subsidy and export quantum. I've already spoken about that. Third comes the B-heavy policy, and fourth comes the MSP, the minimum selling price, and fifth comes the FRP. I think these are all the related questions, Pramod. That's it. 9.45. So yes, just to get back, the last year's domestic sales based on quota was 9.45. Okay, so as you are aware, the government is actively considering the increase in MSP. As and when MSP increases, that is equal to your sugar, assumption of your sugar cost. The moment that happens, that extrapolates into B-heavy pricing increase. Obviously, that would happen from next year. So it is basically B-heavy is priced at the sacrifice of sugar done into the ethanol. So if the sacrifice price is higher, assume it moves from 31 to whatever. So consequent change in B-heavy price is a formula-driven approach. The next is, if let's assume there is a rise in MSP now, which we are hoping for, and FRP goes up in October, that FRP is accompanied by a second round of MSP increase is the evidence from the past. Any cane price increase leads to MSP increase. So have you been able to clarify the position?
Yes, just one thing, if suppose MSP hike comes now and FRP increase happens in October, then there will be one more round of MSP increase. That's what you're trying to say?
Yes, there will be one more rise of MSP increase. These are evidences from the past.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Because right now there is no crushing which is going on. They are going to recognize the true cost probably.
Right.
And if there is a further cost escalation based on raw material price escalation, that will be accompanied by another MSP rise and another B-heavy rise.
Right.
So that B-heavy, if 31 moves to, let us say, 32, 33, 34, 35, whatever is that delta in increase in the sugar price, it will be accompanied by consequent B-heavy revision. And B-heavy tenders come out, as we are aware, in September, October.
Right.
So I guess the policy will be dealt in a composite manner, because one input has many outputs.
Right. Right. So, secondly, probably on the distillery front, so though your capacity is somewhere around 18 crore liters, so will it be like fully utilized in FY21? Secondly, what is the best possible diversion towards B heavy, in the sense, if you can say best case scenario for the sugar sacrifice, because very much sacrifice you do to B heavy as low as the inventory would be. So what was the best case scenario in that sense?
So we are now definitely next year looking at 100% capacity utilization. That is 18 crores definitely. And whatever is the UP government's requirement, we have to give ENA. The rest, whatever is the balance figure, we hope to produce at least 80% B heavy next year.
Thank you. Mr. Manyal, may we request you to please join the queue for any follow-up?
Sanjay, when we say next year, it means sugar season or
Yeah, sugar.
ethanol season, not the financial year.
Right. I always sugar season,
Right,
always,
right.
That's the extrapolation.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pratik Tholia from Elara. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. So just one clarification. You said you would not be participating in the third tranche for export. Is it because the prices are too low, or like you mentioned, you've already diverted enough for B heavy? So what would be the reason for that?
Why aren't we participating in the third tranche? So basically, you see today's prices, it's not that they are not okay. So as we said, we have diverted enough, and probably we are looking, if you want to maintain buffer, etc. These are some internal calculations based on what the company's best case scenario is, and that's the decision.
Understood. Sir, but just what would be your estimate for next year in terms of export from India? You expect we'll go back to that 6 million tons which we are initially thinking about this year, but have fallen short by 1 million tons. If prices remain at this 12-13 cents, will the industry be comfortable at exporting more than 5 million tons in the next season?
Someone will answer that. What is the expectation next year?
See, this year, as against the mandated quota of 6 million tons, as we told in the earlier part of our conversation, we are expecting industry to export to the extent of 5.2 million tons. Now, going forward, there is no reason to believe that industry will not come forward and export, because we are currently operating in an environment where the domestic sales are regulated. So unless and until industry comes back to export, what we will do with the higher inventory? We will have to continue to sit with the higher inventory. So that's the only solution apart from sugar sacrifice in the form of B heavy.
So I fully agree with that. I think even 5.2 million from India is a very good figure, and it may climb up to 5.3 or 4. So it could be between 5.2 to 5.5 also, and this is the range, basically. So if you want personal views, and it's forward looking, it could be between 5 to 6 million next year also.
Okay. So that's very encouraging.
A diversion towards B heavy next year.
Sure. And so lastly, there was a third tender from OMCs expected in this month. Has it been rolled out, and are we participating in that?
Yeah, very good question. There is a third tender, and just to let everyone know, because we repeatedly keep receiving questions. So third tender, obviously the price is decided at the beginning of the year. The method of deciding the price of ethanol B heavy is got nothing to do with crude, it's sugar price. So crude could be 20 and B heavy could move up next year, or crude could be 100 and B heavy could only move to the extent of sugar price MSP increase. We are participating in the third tender in a small quantity. So we are participating because the reason being we produce more than expected, and hence more molasses available to participate.
Sure. So what is the total quantum in that third tender, if you have the number handy?
Let the tender be finalized.
Okay. Fair point. And this is lastly, this buyback, firstly, it's a very good sign from the management. But is the promoters also going to tender in this buyback?
So as we said in the beginning, this is distribution of profits to shareholders in form of, we do two forms. One is interim form of dividend and one is this. So everybody participates. And this will be in the past record for 4 years. This is the fourth year, no?
This is the fourth year.
Yes, sir.
Our conduct is transparent. We put up on the side average percentage of distribution. Everybody participates.
Correct. No, this is very encouraging, sir. Thank you so much, sir, and all the best for future.
Okay, another question which people might come up with. Production next year, again too early to say, but production initial estimates are at 3.1 million. Consumption might be at, let's say 26. 5 million excess. We are hoping for 5 plus diversion from exports, and maybe the production estimate might have be heavy or not. So all in all, inventory reduction from 11.5 is our personal expectation. But too early.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, I would like to remind the participants to limit the question to 2 per participant. If time permits, you may join the question queue for any follow-ups. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Madhav Mada from Fidelity Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir, good afternoon. Thanks so much for your time.
Good afternoon.
Just wanted to understand, so that the...
Sorry, Madhav, can you be a bit loud, please? The audio is not very audible.
Yeah, is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please go ahead now.
Yeah. So I just wanted to understand the MSP increase, which is being considered actively by the government. What's the rationale on the government side for increasing the MSP? Is it likely increase in FRP, or is it to clear cane arrears? I mean, what's the thought process there, basically, to implement the higher MSP?
What we had represented is this 31 is of cash cost coverage. It does not include the interest component, and during COVID times, etc., there was a lot of dialogue and a lot of cane went up in the UP, etc. So the basic understanding of cost of production, better acknowledgement of the truth. As I said, this round of MSP increase is acknowledging the truth, which is cash cost to actually total cost. Any rise in FRP should be accompanied by another rise. I am saying this based on the evidence we have from the past.
Oh, okay. And also, could you just help us, remind us the B-heavy diversion which we are doing? What is the sugar that gets sort of sacrificed in that process? And maybe on a net EBITDA basis, is it like accretive to make B-heavy versus selling sugar? How does that work? Or the price takes care of that difference?
Understand, the moment you sacrifice B-heavy, you save heavy interest. So if you are to evacuate sugar from your factory, you have two formats. Either you export and wait for the export subsidy to come, which takes time, but it comes. So like this year, we've already received some tranche of the export subsidy, and hopefully things come by August, let's say. B-heavy, the moment you sacrifice, your ethanol gets lifted on a monthly basis.
Okay.
The conversion ratio, Pramod, is 1.6.
1.65.
1.65 is the conversion ratio.
Okay.
Which means if you are getting 30 rupees for sugar, let's say you're getting 30 for sugar, 30 into 1.65,
It's 51.
so 30 is equal to 51 kind of thing.
Okay.
So if that goes, let's say it's 54, so accordingly. If it goes higher, accordingly.
Okay. So the sugar MSP, say, goes to 33, it will be 33 into 1.65. That becomes the new ethanol price for the next season, basically, or the next year.
You see, I cannot give you so much detail, but right now you should understand this is our internal calculation.
Got it.
31 is equal to 54.
31 is equal to 54. Okay.
Because MSP is 31.
Right. Yeah.
B-heavy is 54.
Got it.
So I think one should take that ratio.
All right. And so just one last question, maybe a very basic one. How much are the cane arrears with the farmers right now, and at the current level, are we able to clear as an industry?
in UP cane areas as of now is around 15,000 crores. And it's expected that by end of September or October, out of this 15,000 crores, could be 10 to 11,000 crores could be paid out.
Okay. So we still have maybe 5,000 crore which still needs to be paid off, which doesn't get cleared at the current price also. Is that the right understanding?
It's impossible to give you industry projections, but just to explain to you, this export subsidy which is pending to be received by the millers is actually going to straight go to the farmers' accounts.
Oh, okay. All right.
So this helps in clearing. If MSP is raised, your price realization goes up as well as the drawing power on your balance stock goes up.
Right. Yeah.
So these are two hints to tell you that what level of arrears get paid off. How individual people conduct themselves, we don't know.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Just to give an example, in COVID times, our sugar sold at a low of 31, 30, 40.
Yes.
And now, with consumption back on the rails, the price is also 33 half plus.
Okay.
So we've seen a robustness in demand as well as good price increase based on the some speculation definitely creeping in on the MSP being increased.
Okay, got it. And the last question, if I could just ask one more. On the ethanol capacity expansion, is there something more which can happen in the next, say, 3 years to 4 years for the industry?
For the industry, definitely we are hoping that capacity increase would happen and therefore higher diversion could happen.
All right. And as a company also, we might be happy to add more ethanol capacities in a couple of years' time once the current one gets utilized.
We will be looking at that. At present, we have 18 crores. We hope to even try and cross that by a bit.
Yeah.
Let us see our crushing, balancing, etc.
Got it. Great, sir. Great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Gaurav Janwar from Systematix Shares. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Congratulations for the good set of numbers. I just have one question. In this Q1 of FY21, do we see any impact on the demand and as well as on realizations due to the COVID-19 pandemic?
Sorry, come again?
In this current quarter, do we see any kind of impact on demand and realizations due to COVID-19 pandemic? Since many of the industries, there is a lower demand on sugar.
I think everyone will be very pleasantly surprised with what happens in this quarter. That's all I can say. As we have indicated that things are looking good on the demand front, I've indicated the price trajectory also. It went to a low of 31, 20, 30. It's up to 33 half gradually. So on the demand front, we haven't seen much of a destruction, to be honest.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Bhavin Chheda from Enam Holdings. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Vivek and Pramod. Hope all well there.
Yes, Bhavin, yeah.
Yeah. So just a couple of questions on the distillery side. I think you guided next season volumes of around 18 crore liters. I missed out if you gave the numbers of what would be the breakup between B heavy and C heavy.
Okay, so as you are aware, UP government takes, let's say 15% out. UP government might take 2 crores of ENA, and we might do about 12.5, 13 crores of B heavy, and 2-3 crores of C heavy.
Okay. Versus, I think you started B heavy only this quarter. This year you have done 2 odd crores of B heavy, right?
No, much more.
3.4 crores.
In the quarter. Yeah, 3.4 is Pramod is saying.
3.4 crores. So B heavy volumes will almost move up 4 times in the next season.
So we look at the year. I don't know quarter basis. We don't follow it. So in this year, probably B heavy. Pramod bolega.
B heavy sales during this year was around 2.45 crores liter. Sorry, 2.56 crores liter.
Right.
And production was 3.58.
वो तो क्वार्टर का हो गया, इस सीजन का क्या लगता है?
Season for next season, we are expecting B heavy production to be around 14 crores.
हाँ नहीं, इस सीजन का पूछ रहा है. We'll get back, Bhavin.
Okay, but to get the clarity on fiscal also, if I take fiscal, then this fiscal you started in this quarter only, so this fiscal it was 2.56, right?
Right.
What is
Much higher. 1 year, next year we are hoping to produce almost 13, 14 crores of BAV.
Yeah. So if I take fiscal to fiscal comparison, it would be substantially higher in
Much higher.
much higher. Right. And just additionally on this, if you do 12-13 crore B heavy, how much does the sugar recovery get impacted in terms of 50 bips, 25 bips? What kind of a number we can model it?
This year probably the impact on recovery was 0.65 bits.
Yeah.
And next year we'll have to revert. There are some calculations more to be done, but you could assume 0.8.
0.8, okay. And
but we are also, a good question to bring us to recovery. There were only 2 factories left in the group where we had to improve our varieties because they were in the far eastern UP. All that has gone very well. Our latest planting data shows that now our varietal balance will be equal to anybody else's. We have a natural disadvantage of East UP, which we have fully recovered.
Okay. And
we should be able to make up a lot of the BAV loss from the recovery.
Sure. And on the power thing, what is the status of the court case, I think, of these reduced power tariffs in UP?
Because of the COVID situation, courts have not opened. Only very important virtual hearings are taking place. So we are hoping that in the month of 2nd of July, something should happen. Hearing should begin.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Manish Bhandari from Vallum Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Sir, I didn't follow your comment on the recovery side. I'm so glad to see this consistent improvement. So, are you making a case that next year the recovery should be 12.5%? Is that what the comment you were trying to make in your previous question?
No, I'm not saying so high. As I said, 2 mills have to improve. A lot of weather conditions also impact recovery, but our internal varietal balance improvement will definitely be a positive delta to recovery. But how much and what, I don't know. You can't predict that today. I'm only saying apple to apple, we would be higher.
My second question was related to another comment you made about the increase in the ethanol capacity. So, would you have any estimate in the next 3 years how much of sugar, including the recovery, can be diverted to the ethanol, increase the ethanol capacity for the industry as a whole? Not for Balrampur, maybe for the industry as a whole.
See, we are hoping next year about 1.5 million on the industry should go for ethanol. These are all data based on internal calculations.
And how this number should be in 3 or 4 years?
It's very tough, but wait for a year. Let's see more distilleries get under construction. Then probably we could give you some more data. Having said that, the industry and the government is very interested that more distilleries should be put up. We have industry is represented to ISMA is represented to banks to fund the millers who want to set up distilleries far more liberally, and I think there is a lot of movement on that.
My last question is regarding the Brazilian swing between ethanol to sugar. So, would you have any estimate that how much of ethanol would swing to the sugar production based on the parity if they follow any?
Brazil last year produced around 28-29 million ton of sugar. This year it is expected to go up by 9 million ton further, 9 to 10 million ton further.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prateek Jain from Goldman Sachs. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. Hello.
Yes, continue.
Yeah. Sir, just a bookkeeping question. So, like, what is the transfer price for molasses and bagasse?
Bagasse we are transferring at 1400 rupees a ton, and molasses at 3500 rupees a ton for the conventional and 7000 rupees a ton for the B heavy.
Okay. And sir, just on the cogen side, so I understand that one part of the revenue would be coming from the sale of power. So, like, during the quarter, what would be the quantum of bagasse which you have sold in the market, and what was the average realization for that?
When we sell bagasse, the revenue gets captured in the sugar division, not in the power division.
He's asking what is it? Yeah, we are looking at it. We'll get back soon.
Okay. And sir, just one thing you mentioned about, like, you're not participating in the exports further. So, like, is it more to do with your expectation in terms of increase in the MSP, which might actually lead to better realization?
We've already exported almost 3 lakh 30 lakh bags. That is 3 lakh tons on our own. Is the highest in the country by far. So you need to keep stocks of buffer, etc., etc. So there are some internal calculations.
Okay. And sir,
sold around 4 lakh tons throughout the year.
4 lakh tons throughout the year.
And sir, what would be the selling price for bagasse?
It ranges between 1600 to 1700 rupees a ton.
Okay. And sir, any comments on the, like, this sanitizer business, hand sanitizer business?
We are still looking to understand a little more, understand the permanency, which segment, and not looking to enter without some tie-ups, etc.
Okay. Okay. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Keshav Lahoti from Angel Broking. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity. So when I look at the sugar industry, it's always a kind of a regulated industry, be it you need MSP, government support for ethanol price decided by government. So how do you see the industry in the long run? Will it be in the same way? How is it, or you think it will be a free function?
Let's understand the basic nature and why what's happening is happening. The moment you declare, let's understand what happens globally will be a very simple example. All the large producing countries never declare cane price. There is no government intervention. Cane price is a percentage of sugar price realized. And there is no government coming and saying you buy this much cane at this much price. So if you have to decontrol the industry and deregulate it, you have to begin at cane. So assume government can do that. I think the entire regulation business will end. And we are very, very happy with that. Now assume you are continuing the regulation the way you are continuing today. The backup done by the central government from the last 3-4 years is the most professional way of handling the sector I have seen. Because if you are declaring the raw material price, you are causing cane to be like you're asking the farmer to put in more cane because this is the best product. 100% it gets paid ultimately, and 100% of what you produce gets crushed by the mills. So if you're asking the farmer that this is the price you're going to get, please put in cane, and he puts in cane, and there is extra cane which helps the farmer and which sort of covers the government's vision on the farm sector. The end product, which is sugar and ethanol and etc., government needs to responsibly take care of that so that the entire cane price gets paid. The manner in which they are recognizing that, and which is just in the beginning of the call I told you, recognition of the total cost. Expert bodies have gone into the costing. Niti Aayog came out with a report where they also mentioned 33. The sacrificing to be heavy, the truth to understand the sacrifice price, the excess stock managed by buffer, the MSP method to regulate the sales via with quota is the best way to handle the finished product when you want to declare a raw material price.
Okay.
So either you deregulate both or you regulate both.
Okay, understood. Okay. So what I can recall from previous call, the strategy was let's do 50% B heavy and let's do 50% C heavy. But in this call, somewhere you sounded you are doing more of a B heavy to the tune of 80%. Is this some sort of change in strategy?
The logic is clear. If B heavy goes up, it's best to do B heavy. So you will see the reasons emerge.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhananjay Mishra from Sunidhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks for the opportunity and congratulations for a good result. Sir, what was the utilization level of new plant in this for this quarter? Ethanol plant.
Sorry, come again.
What was the volume from new plant, ethanol plant, 160 KLPD?
So that plant started operation from 12th of January, the full benefit of which will accrue only in the year to come. So, but the plant operated at more than 90% of its capacity.
It's now operating 110.
And currently operating in excess of its 100% capacity.
Okay. And so you mentioned the transfer pricing for C heavy at 3,500 and B heavy at 7,000, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, just for the calculation purpose and given the current realization of 54 and for this C heavy, what is gross profit margin if we calculate separately? What would be the gross profit margin?
We have given those figures in our presentation. The costing has also been given. Average cost is around 22.5 rupees per liter.
22?
22.5 rupees per liter.
Okay. So this is for B heavy, you are saying?
Yeah, average of both B and C. Going forward, predominantly it will be B only.
Okay. So in that case, that it will remain at the same?
Margin, it can go up to say 24, 25 max.
Okay. And accordingly, price we will get a better realization for B heavy, right?
Everything depends on the future pricing of B heavy, transfer pricing, which is done as per accounting standards.
Okay. No, I mean, this is just a accounting entry, but just for the sake of, I mean, we calculate segmental EBIT for ethanol and power and sugar. So, in that case, just looking. Okay, sir. That's all from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Achal Lohade from GM Financial. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. My first question was, if I see cash flows, I mean, this year we've had massive cash flows. Even if I look at going forward, we're looking at more than 500, 600 crores kind of a operational cash flow annually. About the payout.
Voice is breaking. We can't hear.
Your voice is breaking.
Is it better? Is it better now?
Yeah, much.
Okay. What I was wanting to check, given the cash flow we probably would have in the current year, next year, we are not talking about any significant CapEx at the moment. So how do you plan to utilize? I mean, I know you've given a slide where the payout seems to be about 40%. Can we probably look at a higher payout ratio in coming years if there are no CapEx plans?
It's not a very bad question, but this is not for individuals to decide. The board does it. But our past conduct should give you some more evidence.
Understood. My second question is with respect to the recovery rate. You talked about the impact. Would it be possible to give a broad number as to what is the recovery rate for sugar in case of C and what is it in case of B?
We can only do that once we plan fully for next year. It's too early.
But normally it is 1.5% lower.
Sacrifice, yeah.
Sacrifice is 1.5%.
for
Understood.
the
Understood.
portion, C2B.
And third, just a clarification with respect to the gas, you said about 4 lakh tons. What was the average realization? I understood it was 290. I thought it is way too low.
No, it's 1,600 rupees to 1,700 rupees per ton. 16,000 rupees per ton.
1600.
So, sorry, 1,600 per ton.
1,600 per ton. At that price, it is more economical to sell
Yes,
bagasse than.
definitely. At the current tariff, it's much more better to sell at 1,600 bagasse rather than give power to.
Understood. Understood. And with respect to cane cost, can you clarify what is the cane cost for the full year FY21?
Around 337.
337. Understood. And just last question, with respect to B, you did talk about numbers, but I got a little confused with respect to fiscal number. Would it be possible to tell us FY21, what kind of B route we could look at in terms of the volumes?
We've already given indication that next year 18 crores and fiscal I don't know, Pramod, because dispatches of fiscal are very difficult. So we talk year to year. Sugar year, we are hoping 18 crores next year total production of alcohol, 2 odd crores ENA which goes to UP government, 3 odd crores maybe maximum C and 13 odd crores B.
In that case, does it mean that like 65% odd of our cane crushing will be on B heavy route? Like, would that be fair assumption?
Yes, yes.
Understood. Great. Thanks so much for answering my question, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be the last question for today. I now hand the conference over to the management for their closing comments. Thank you, and over to you.
So, thank you everyone, and we are always, Pramod and me are there for answering your queries, and we look forward to your continued engagement as we proceed in our life.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Balrampur Chini Mills, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.